Hi, welcome to my channel, Rohit Speaks. And today's video, I'm gonna just talk about omega-3 fatty acids and why they are important. And if you're wondering people have been recommending and doctors have been recommending to eat this type of fatty acids, so I just want to give a brief overview why it is important, and hopefully you'll get the extreme importance of this particular group of fatty acids. So to give you an overview, there are three types of fatty acids. There is omega-3, omega-6, and omega-9. So omega-6 and omega-9 usually you get through your regular foods if you eat sunflower oil or any vegetable oil, fried food. Like those oils are rich in omega-6 and omega-9. So in from your regular diet of meat consumption, your seeds and nuts you eat, you will get your 6 and 9. The one which is very low and you don't get most is omega-3. So omega-3 is technically into three parts, which is EPA, DHA, and ALA. So I'm not going to go through the whole name because these are very chemical names. You don't need to know. Where is a simple EPA. So there is hexa, penta, and linolenic acid. So P, penta, hexa, DHA, H is hexa, ALA, linolenic acid. So you don't need to know the whole thing, but just letting you know. So there are three types of omega-3 fatty acids, EPA, DHA, and ALA. ALA is the one which is easily available. Okay. Well, before we get into that, EPA, DHA, and ALA are the three omegas-3 which you need for your body. And why it is required is because your blood vessels. So if you know your regular biology, your organs are made up of tissues, are made up of cells. So each cell has a coating of double layer. Those are lipid layers, okay? Those are fatty layers. Those layers are made up of fatty acids, and DHA and EPA, they are the two major omega-3s which composes your neuronal and your blood vessel. So EPA is good for your vasculature, for your blood flow, and DHA actually is around your neurons, and it is required extremely to maintain your neuronal health. Your neurons to be healthy and firing properly, you need your DHA, and it's highly, highly recommended by doctors and any health professional will recommend you to have your DHA and EPA more important. And this is the image you need to remember is DHA and EPA is very important. EPA mostly for your vasculature, for your blood vessels, for your blood flows, to your blood cells to be and your blood vessels to be healthy. And DHA for your neuronal or neuron membranes to be very healthy so it can fire properly and keep your brain very happy. Especially brain, which is a 60% made up of fatty acids, it requires this DHA to function properly. And I'll come to that in a couple of slides. So now, where do we get this food or this DHA and EPA? So remember I told you DHA and EPA and ALA. ALA is usually available in your seeds and your nuts, in your walnuts. That's alpha-linolenic acid. And ALA is not that useful. It is used in body, but it's not that useful. Actually, it needs to be converted into EPA and DHA to be used by your body. And your ALA is actually converted, as you can see here, is converted to EPA 5 to 10%, and ALA is converted into DHA even less than that, only 1%. So basically, if there is 100 molecules of ALA, only one of that will form a DHA. And if there is 100 molecules of ALA, that only 5, 15, or 20 will turn into EPA. So I just wanted to stress that EPA and DHA, the only food source where you can get it is fatty fish, which is the salmon, and I have different sources and um, their DHA and EPA content, but you need to know nuts and seeds are not an adequate source of your fatty acids. And that's a common misconception with which people have been telling around that you can have it, you can nuts and seeds kind of fulfill. Yes, it gives you ALA, which is gets converted into uh, it gets converted into EPA and DHA, but it never fulfills the amount which is required by you. So you need to have a DHA and EPA supplement with you. If you're eating fish, fine, but if you're not you need to have this DHA and EPA, and I'll talk about the sources. So now, as I said, the DHA and EPA. Now, DHA, as I said, is very important for your neuronal health, for your nervous system. And there are numerous studies where ADHD patients they took like a bunch of population studies where the population who had ADHD had low amounts of DHA and EPA, and DHA mostly. And you can see here a lot more. I've just pulled a screenshot from NCBI. You can go ahead and Google these papers. These are scientifically proven facts. DHA has been implicated in a lot of neuronal disorders. So if you don't have adequate amount of DHA, you know you're firing fine, but eventually it will cause into numerous disorders. Alzheimer's being another one, anxiety being another one, ADHD being another one. So if you have, and it's a simple fact, if you have enough DHA, your neurons are healthy, they are firing properly. If you don't have enough DHA, the neuronal membrane are not completely formed and they're firing and they're mispairing and they're misfiring. So then you will have all sorts of different signaling going on in your brain, and which would lead to eventually behavioral problems, anxiety problems, and all of those things. So very important to eat your EPA and your DHA. Now, one major thing which I want to bring up fact to you, actually curcumin, which is a component or a chemical component found in turmeric, which actually allows your DHA to be absorbed very nicely. And also it has been proven that it also converts a lot of your ALA into DHA and EPA. So if you have turmeric in your diet, it will actually help convert your ALA into DHA and EPA. Not enough to complete your requirements, but will actually improve the conversion rates. So turmeric along with fatty fish, perfect. You will have enough amount of DHA and EPA. ALA, you will get it through nuts and seeds if you have it in your diet. So please, and this has been given, recommended is to at least 500 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids, which I'm talking about is EPA and DHA. Try to consume some fatty fish, at least eat 2 to 3 times per week. American Heart Association says around 1 gram of DHA and EPA needs to be taken. As I said, EPA actually helps in your blood vessels. So if your blood vessels are forming fine, they will help basically heart to function properly, because it will not be under stress to pump blood through all your blood vessels. If your blood vessels are not fine, heart has to function much at a much higher rate to uh, function properly. So now, yes, there are some side effects if you eat too much of it. So 5 grams. 1 gram, they say 500 to 1 gram is required. If you take 5 times of that amount, the max you will see is a low blood pressure, because your blood vessels will start incorporating into that. So your blood vessels will actually dilate and you'll have low blood pressure. And sometimes if you get hurt, the bleeding will not stop because your blood pressures are kind of dilated. And so everything is just gushing out. So try try to consume the right amount of DHA and EPA. So as I said, there's numerous sources of fishes which you can get a lot of DHA and EPA. For example, sturgeon is the fish. If you take 100 grams of that, you get almost 6 grams of EPA and DHA, which is more than what you need. So you can have a little bit of sturgeon. Squid dried has 1.8 grams. Salmon has 1.5 grams. Salmon baked and broiled has 1 gram, so which is pretty good. That 100 grams of that. Even brains from animals, if you consume that, it's totally fine. Other than that, those who are not into animals and are into vegan sources or vegetarian, there are algae. Algae are the marine plant organisms which have also DHA, and that can be used as your alternative source if you cannot consume fish. And I believe those are available in form of tablets, so you have to take it in the form of supplement. And if you cannot, and if you're into fish, take it at least 2 to 3 times per day. So highly recommended to eat your fish, to eat your DHA, and to eat your EPA. And along with that, if you have fish and if you have enough turmeric in your diet, it will actually help your brain health and help your inflammation in your blood vessels. Um, And finally, I want to leave you with that. If you need your nice brain health and vasculature, blood vessel, eat your fish or eat your DHA and EPA. With that, I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.